Welcome back to the channel, folks. Wanted to do another update just to show some legitimacy to the OXBtc website. Wanted to go over another tab here, which is under the About Us tab, and it's just basically a tab that will go into each of the components that involves OXBtc and kind of where they've come from. First and foremost, the first thing you can do is actually look at this video introduction. I won't click on it. It's about a 3-minute video of the CEO. It's taken quite a little ways back, but it does show you some of the multiple mining farms they have and also how they achieve what they're achieving. The real key feature to OXBtc is the low electricity cost using hydropower in the majority of their plants in order to run these massive mining farms and run the contracts. With the lower electricity fees, as anybody knows that's in the mining field of Bitcoin, electricity cost is one of the biggest factors. Cooling and electricity costs are the biggest factors to get your ROI quicker. When you come to OXBtc, go to About Us, click on Platform. I highly recommend you click on this video introduction here. Basically what that does is it takes you to that video talking with the CEO. The platform itself, obviously OXBtc, this is one of the top mining platforms. We all know this. Founded in 2014, based out of China, uses majority hydroelectricity for very low electricity costs. They have been mining and operating safely for the last 5 years. They do support both English, Korean, and Chinese. When you come to the site, you can actually alternate through your different languages if you prefer. They have currently 8 farms, and for all those that think that it's just in China, it is not actually. So they actually have one in Venezuela, they have one in the United States, they also have some throughout the Asian countries there. Now, each one of these, they basically handpick these into cool climates as well as hydroelectricity. That is basically their claim to fame, that they will be able to get maximum mining efficiency with lowest energy costs. So that's the platform itself. So on here, it actually says they have over 6,000 users worldwide. We actually have an updated value here. They're actually up to 753,000 users. If you calculate out this days of saved operation, 1,918 days, it's approximately 5 years of cloud mining. So this actually corresponds with it. Total profits issued, so of all the mining, this is the profits, 30,156 Bitcoin. Which when you have a mining operation such as this with 8 mining farms, it's no doubt that you're actually going to be one of the larger mining farms here. I'm actually part of this. Again, I've been with this cloud mining service for not the entire 5 years, but a pretty good chunk of it. So what makes their mining profitable and what makes it stable? And I can attest to this specifically. OXBtc, they basically avoid any type of power shutdowns. There has been times where they have to migrate from one location to another, and that did create a downturn. But they're very open, very honest, and really what they were doing is they were moving it. They have a wet season over in China, and they move it to where they'll actually get more efficient energy costs of mining. However, other places, as you can see here, if there's power outages or if there's any type of shutdowns or accidents or things, it's a very inconsistent profit income, simply because anybody, if you haven't been part of the Bitcoin mining, it's based on a price per share mode, which basically means the longer you're connected to the cloud and the longer you are consistently mining, the more reliable your mining becomes, so the more profitable you become. So at any given time, they always have mining going on, feeding into their profit pools. Now they do have some other resources provided down here, but that's kind of an overview of the specific platform itself. Let's go ahead and get into the next one, which is actually going to be the parent company, which is HALLEY Mining here. Okay, so HALLEY Mining is actually the parent company of OXBtc. So this actually started as an alternate company where you could actually deposit. It was almost like an investment where you would deposit, and your deposit would go towards them funding their services. And ultimately, it concluded in creating OXBtc, as well as purchasing and being owner of a large mining company itself, or a hardware company itself. We'll get into that in a moment. So again, HALLEY Mining is the parent company of OXBtc. It owns 8 mining farms. We know this, we just went over it. These are the locations that are here. The layout of globalization is beneficial to spread the risk to ensure a stable electricity supply. again, anybody that's in the mining market knows that that is key, that you want to have stable, cheap electricity. Now, it does have an introduction here as to all the different and kind of how they've come about. This is the synopsis of their roadmap. So obviously back in 2013 is when everything started. OXBtc became, this is when they came online approximately 5 years ago, and this is about when I heard of it. Now Pandaminer we'll go into in just a moment, but this is actually the hardware company that HALLEY Mining actually owns. And so that's why a lot of times you're going to notice when you're buying those contracts, they're under the Pandaminer V3, and we'll go into that in a minute. Obviously, the Bitcoin, the world's first 12 nanometer Bitcoin mining machine. We also have the Panda mining pool, which is one of the top 5 Ethereum mining pools in the world. And again, they've had this mining and hosting. In 2019, they now have 6 farms, 2 overseas, 1 in United States, 1 in South America. And they're obviously one of the largest mining companies that are out there. Because they actually own this Pandaminer, that accounts for 6% of the global graphics in the card market. They actually own this. This is actually their hardware portion of their company reach. And again, it talks about the mining farms and their Ethereum mining pool itself. So when you come down here, this is where you're going to show the map of the actual mining farms. So again, there is going to be one in the United States. There is one in Venezuela down in South America. And then you have these over here, which is in Mongolia. And again, I'm not going to be able to pronounce these here, but the most recent one is here. They had just recently opened and again, I'm not going to be able to say that properly, but and all of these again are strategically chosen specifically for cheap energy and very easy cooling costs. These are the core factors of what they're trying to do: professional maintenance, competitive electric fee, we've already talked about, electrical compliance, integrated cooling system, high voltage systems, storage security policy, power load. Obviously, these all take key factors in getting your ROI and getting the cheapest energy. The lower the energy, the more you ROI. Obviously, there's a link here that you can start mining, and we'll go into that in a minute. However, I would like to talk a little bit more about the next section, which is going to be this miner section. Okay, so here's the mining section. So the mining section actually is talking about the different devices that they actually use to mine. If you see this here, this Pandaminer, so HALLEY, the parent company here, actually owns this Pandaminer company. So they actually are producing their own hardware. Now they do, and again, because they're trying to look out for the customers here, so they actually do outsource, not outsource, but they actually bring in alternate machines as well. So they also bring in Antminer and they bring in some others. So long as it's giving them the most efficient mining product, they're going to bring it in. However, Pandaminer itself actually, if you come to their website, so they actually, this is their hardware version of it. You can actually purchase these and use these to mine within your own home, really. Now, if you want to purchase these, you can actually mine in your own home, but you can also host it. So when you come in here, this is where you can actually see this particular mining machine. It gets you obviously the 44 terahash with efficiency listed. Now, if you purchase this, you can actually have it shipped to you and you can mine in your own home. Now, I've used to be a miner in my home and it gets very time consuming. It's very, for lack of better words, very time consuming, but it's also very heavy with maintenance. So if your internet goes down, if your connection drops, if your mining software ends up ceasing, then you're actually mining for nothing. There's a lot of maintenance involved with it. There's a lot of cooling involved with it. These things mine very, very fast and very, very efficiently. They generate a lot of heat and they generate a lot of noise. In fact, a lot of times you'll see on here, well, I don't see it on here, but a lot of times they'll tell you what the decibels are, how loud it's going to be, just simply so that you're given a heads up. So, but the interesting thing about Panda mining actually is you can actually purchase these Panda minings, and if you come up here to hosting, you can actually purchase, and they will actually host your device. You can actually purchase the device and then send it to them. They'll actually host it and maintain it for a fee. So now this is the Ethereum pool that they talk about. This is the Pandaminer Ethereum pool. And this in essence is telling you how much power and such that they have running into that pool at the moment. And if you haven't noticed that before, the reason they have that is because when you go into these contracts here, into these cloud mining contracts, it's not just Bitcoin that you can purchase. You can actually purchase Ethereum mining as well here. And again, they're running it with a Pandaminer. So this is also going to go back to, see this one here is a Spider Miner, because it's doing the Filecoin Antminer S17, Antminer S17. So they do get other miners. As long as it's efficient and it's going to be cost effective, they're going to use it. However, it does not hurt the fact that they actually own this Pandaminer, this Pandaminer company in regards to the hardware. That way they can easily utilize that for their own services. So let's go back here. So that's all I had to say about this right here. I just wanted to introduce you here because I'm just trying to show reputability of the company itself. This company, again, I've been with them for quite a while. They're very reputable. They're very efficient. They know what they're doing. They've been around a long time. One other thing actually I wanted to point out is if you go over to their Twitter page here, and I'll put a link for each of these. So on the OXBtc Twitter, they actually have 9 different videos of all the different farms. You can actually go in here, and I'll put a link to each of these tweets in the video below. So go ahead and feel free to click on those. Make sure that you follow OXBtc, and this will actually show you each of their mining farms here, and just a quick little snippet as to what they do. Again, showing open availability, open source, really trying to show the community that they're in for the clients, basically. All right, well, that's with everything. I wanted to go over one last thing, and that's going to be the most recent contracts. All right, if you guys have been following along, I've obviously already invested in, and I've shown you how to purchase. I've shown you how to set up your account. I showed you how to set up your Google authorization. Now there is the old, when I initially signed up, there is this 240-day contract that was just released with that purpose. And since that time, actually, there is a new contract, which is the BTC D300. It's a 300 term day contract. It's a 10 terahash minimum, $160 for that 300 days, which is just about a year. 0 management fees, and again, the electricity cost is actually cheaper than this 240 cost. If you purchase this, it's active now, so it'll actually be active the day after. And again, if you want to get into these minings, these are the most efficient at the moment, is this 240 as well as this 300. And I'll put a link down below, so that way if you want to get into these contracts, you can just click on that link, and I'd appreciate you using the referral. All right, guys, that's the most up-to-date. I hope this was beneficial. I really wanted to just show you reputability, as well as just how open they are and how honest they are with what they're doing. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Hope everybody's doing well, and have a good one.